Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome to the video. Now, the vehicle I've got for you today is a 2003 BMW 330xi that the owner is using as his winter car. So as you guys can imagine, it's looking pretty rough right now. Okay, taking a look around this car, and it's pretty clear that winter hasn't been very kind to it, as every inch is covered in dirt, and there's quite a bit of salt on the car too, which is already starting to cause rust on the vehicle. And then by the looks of it, it's seen a few big puddles too. But moving inside now, and while the mess in here isn't horrendous, the carpets and floor mats are still pretty dirty, the cup holders are grimy and sticky, and overall, this 19-year-old car just needs a good deep cleaning to breathe some new life into it. But before we jump into the detail, take a second and make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you've got the bell on so you never miss out on a future video. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to thoroughly enjoy working on this BMW today and getting it all cleaned up and looking brand new again. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, getting started on the pre-wash rinse, and I have to say it's always nice getting to work on a higher quality vehicle like this BMW. They're just well-built vehicles, and the interior components are higher quality, which makes cleaning them quicker and more enjoyable since you typically don't have to struggle too much to get them clean. And be sure to stick around until the end of the video to catch the owner's reaction. He was pretty excited to see the car all cleaned up. Moving to the wheel well, and this is the first BMW I've done that doesn't have carpeted wheel well liners. My guess is that based on the age of the vehicle, they hadn't started using them in their vehicles yet, so I'll take that as a win today because I can get them sprayed out much quicker. Moving to the underside, and similar to the wheel wells, BMWs usually have the carpeted material covering the underside as well, but in this case it's just plastic, so that saves me a little bit more time, but also makes it easier to ensure I can get all the dirt and road salt sprayed off, as there's just nowhere for it to hide and collect. Okay, starting on washing the car, and for anyone wondering why I never put my hand inside the wash mitt, well, it's simply because I rinse the mitt so frequently that having to take it off and put it back on so many times would quite simply waste time, so opting for efficiency, I keep it off. Okay, now to deal with the iron contamination that's on this BMW's paint, I'm spraying on some of my Detail Geek iron remover, which is going to quickly dissolve those tiny little orange rust spots, turning purple while it does, and then I'll simply just rinse it off. But it's important to note that you never want to let this dry on your vehicle, and you'll need to use a strong stream of water to rinse it, as it does stick to the paint a little bit. Okay, with the car pulled back into the garage now, I'll start unloading the trunk of all the personal items left behind, including this rice cooker and a few other odd items. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm always curious to see what people keep in their vehicles, and I've definitely found some strange and unusual things over the years. Moving to the back now, and as you might have guessed, this BMW's carpet is pretty good quality, so it doesn't take too much effort to get all the dirt and debris sucked up, and it should also make it far easier to get these couple of stains cleared up with the Bissell later on. Okay, starting in the driver's footwell now, and it's time for this week's members question, which comes from Kyle, and it's, do you change product, go to a more expensive or higher quality one when detailing higher end vehicles? So the simple answer to that is no, I don't. As you've seen in my videos, I have my process and products nailed down to a T, and that's because I believe them to be the best ones to use to give me perfect results. Could I spend more money on products? Of course, but that doesn't mean they're going to give me better results. Now, if a vehicle has different components that require a different product, well, that's one thing, but for the most part, what I use is going to work well on any vehicle, and the nice thing is that they won't break the bank either. Okay, as I work my way around the interior with the vacuum and my detail brush, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate when a vehicle manufacturer actually puts some thought into the cleaning side of things and makes removable storage bin inserts and cup holders like BMW did here. I can tell you from experience that it's significantly easier to clean these things outside of the vehicle, and when they're molded into the console, well, they can be pretty painful to clean. Moving to the driver's footwell now, and with there being a couple of salt stains in the carpets here, there's a good chance I'll need to go over them more than once, but to answer a question I see a fair bit, the best way to tackle salt stains in your carpets is exactly as you see me do it. Let the carpet solution sit on it for a minute and agitate with a drill brush. Now, sometimes depending on how bad it is, you might need to use a medium green brush or even repeat the process a few times, but rest assured, once the salt has been softened up enough, it will let go and you should have no trouble getting it all out. Okay, now since I get asked to see this all the time, here's the couple of carpet mats I pressure washed earlier. I'll now use the Bissell to suck out the rest of the water. Here's the half bucket of surprisingly dark brown water pulled from the BMW today. Gross. Now with the interior panels in this car not being super dirty, there's no need to use all-purpose cleaner today, so I'll simply work my way around with the steamer and a couple of towels to get everything clean. Moving to the leather seats now, and to clean and revive this old leather, I'm first spraying on some leather cleaner and will then use my leather brush to agitate, especially down in the seams, and then I'll just wipe it clean with one of my dual pile microfiber towels, and once I've got all the seats clean, I'll apply some leather conditioner using a microfiber applicator pad to leave them looking and feeling like new again. Okay, now to complete the decontamination of the paint, I'm using some of my Quick Detailer and Ultra Poly Clay to remove any surface bonded contaminants like tar, tree sap, road grime, or anything else that's bonded to the paint. And in the case of this BMW, even though the paint didn't look visually dirty, when you see what the clay picked up, it's pretty surprising. But with the paint perfectly clean, it will then be ready for a sealant. Now, one thing to keep in mind when removing a sealant or wax once it's dried is to use a quality microfiber towel like my Detail Geek dual pile towels, and ensure you're flipping the towel to a clean side every panel or two. Otherwise, you'll likely end up leaving residue all over as the fibers eventually get full and you'll just be pushing it around on the paint. You can find the towels on my website at detailgeekautocare.com. They come in a 6-pack and work well anywhere in and around your vehicle. Last up is to dress the tires with some CarPro Pearl, diluted roughly 1:1.
Alright, come on in.
Yo.
Come on in.
Is this the same car I dropped it off?
Yes, it's 41, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's looking good.
She looks very different than what I gave you.
That'll look in there, yeah. That's where a lot of the work was, so.
God damn. I mean, I'm pretty, like, you almost left me speechless, I can't lie.
Awesome.
This looks amazing.
That's showroom, baby. Yeah, it's looking good.
Like almost feeling like I went back in the time, brought this off the lot.
Yeah, back about 19 years, eh?
Yeah, it's like for a 2003 car and for it to be this clean.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it does look good. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I can't even see a spot of dirt in there or dust.
Perfect. Yeah, well, she's all cleaned up and good to go, so.
Thank you very much, sir.
Awesome. Okay, enjoy it. All right.
All right, guys, well, a quick 9 hours later, and the BMW is looking sleek, sexy, and brand new again. And I gotta say, after last week's 16-hour marathon on that truck, this was a very nice change of pace. Now, as always, guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one.